Good afternoon, everybody, and we welcome you to the Danbury Ice Arena here in Danbury, Connecticut for what is the only game in the Fed this afternoon, a makeup from Friday's postponement. It is the Danbury Hat-Tricks looking to snap a 4-game losing streak as they take on the Port Huron Prowlers. Alongside Pat Grumberg, Phil Jubileo with you. And, well, Pat, the Hat-Tricks fell last night for the first time this season after scoring the game's opening goal. They had a brief lead in the first period, but following both of the Danbury Hat-Tricks goals last night, we saw Port Huron quickly bounce back to tie it, and then they got an empty netter late in the third period from Lockhart to take a 4-2 win from the Hat-Tricks. So the Hat-Tricks, with the loss, falling to 5th place in the Empire Division, still with 29 points on the season, and they got to find a way to snap this 4-game losing streak today.
Yeah, still 1 point behind Blue Ridge, who picked up some points last night to slot into 4th place. And yeah, you mentioned Hat-Tricks had a couple leads last night. Greg Sasinski got us on the board, an early 1-0 lead. Kandurka made it 2-1 in the second, but quick responses from the Prowlers both times and unable to get back in that one late. Hat-Tricks had a power play late in the third period, down 3-2, and couldn't capitalize. Power play has been a little slow lately, and Coach Beerchen hoping they can turn it back on today for some Sunday matinee hockey.
Well, we've got the starting lineups for both teams. We will see the same goaltender today for the Danbury Hat-Tricks. In net, it'll be Sebastian Resar, and he was fantastic last night, had 39 saves, gave up the empty net goal, obviously, in the 4-2 decision, and he was really stellar in net, and we'll see a change in goal for this Port Huron squad. More after this. First, the anthem. Well, a nice job of the national anthem that has concluded here at the DIA. Let's take a look at the starters. In front of Sebastian Resar, it'll be the rookie Greg Susinski, scored his 2nd goal of the season last night, along with Ian Tukane, who had a ton of ice time in that contest. Once again, Danbury dressing just 5 defenders. Jackson Legros slots into the lineup. Caden Fennell moves up front because Zach Pamaleon, at some point at the end of the first period, did not return in the final 40 minutes despite having the assist, so he is unavailable for today. Up front for the Hat-Tricks, John Beerchen going with his 4th line of Josh Newberg, Gennaro Frandudo, and Joshua Tomasi to get things going. Meanwhile, for Port Huron, it is a change in net. We'll see the 5'10" rookie from Minnesota, Bailey Huber, will get the start. He's 2-4 on the year with a 3.74 goals against. So Matt Graham, the 50-year head coach for Port Huron, deciding to, with short rest, not go with Reed Cooper, who had the 21 save effort last night. And starting on defense will be Parsons alongside Lockhart, who sealed it with an empty goal last night, empty netter. Bucell, Morick, and Bizal up front for this Port Huron squad, still in second place in the Empire Division, a record of 14-11 on the season. The Hat-Tricks 8-12, 3-1. As we get set for the opening face-off, the referees today, once again, William Lyons and Justin Crawford. Eric Enningson and Will Fannin are the linesmen, and we are underway here at the DIA. It was the Danbury Hat-Trick scoring early in the first period, but now it's the Prowlers, and Bucell with a quick chance from the left wing circle, and that one skips wide as the Hat-Tricks looks to play it out towards center ice, and we wouldn't be in a hockey barn without some birds flying around. You might catch that on screen at some point today as the Prowlers played in across the line. Good hit along the boards as Tomasi's got it along the near wing side ahead to center ice, and on the stick as it is skated across the right wing in the corner and wound back around. Waiting for it at center ice is Jackson LeGros, who was a healthy scratch last night and in the lineup today, as we get a stoppage which will bring the face out and offside to center ice 42 seconds in.
Yeah, Coach Beerchen deciding to send out the fourth line to start the game. Haven't seen him do that a lot this season. Usually starts with one of the top two lines, but start with some physicality and earning a neutral zone draw right outside the Prowlers' end.
The top line of Robinson, Lakehoff on the ice, along with Austin Belfay, as we see LeGros and Pickford now paired on defense. It'll be a busy afternoon for those defenders: Susinski, Pickford, Tukane, Movali, and LeGros. Just 5 dressed for Danbury once again as the Hat-Tricks control the face-off. Here comes LeGros as he gains the center red and drives it in. Chasing hard down the boards is Lakehoff, who had a couple of great chances last night. Had his 40th point of the season with an assist, but had a couple of good goal-scoring opportunities, wasn't able to finish. And now streaking down the right wing as Anderson looks to center it in front. The pass broken up as Belfay battling in the corner. Out to center with it. Coming with it is Robinson as he'll chip in. Chasing is Lakehoff. Oh, and he hammers Favaro along the end wall. Got it back along the right side. Had to navigate around a loose stick. Back to the point. Movali's shot got blocked. Loose in the slot. Lakehoff with the moves. Lakehoff out in front looking to throw it in, and that one deflected out wide, and that will bring the face-off out. The net knocked off its pegs with just under 90 seconds gone.
Just another example there of Lakehoff making something out of nothing. A loose puck in the high slot, takes it, makes a couple quick moves, and has a chance to put it in on the backhand there. Some chaos in front prevents it from doing so, but nice early start for the first line for the Hat-Tricks.
Lakehoff from Moscow, Russia. Played in the EHL last year, was the forward of the year in that league for the New Jersey squad. As the puck is in behind the Port Huron net, centering feed from the corner, comes all the way through. Caden Fennell, who was a defender last night, playing third-line center, as Preissel on the right wing. Hakala battling for Port Huron, cleared out by the Hat-Tricks, hustling hard after it is Fennell, but it will be an icing on Danbury, and it brings it back the other way.
Yeah, Caden Fennell slotting in at third-line center with Zach Pamaleon out with an injury after last night, and not surprised to see Fennell, the defender, chosen to bump up to the forward lines. He's a defenseman who loves to carry the puck and will start the rush on his own and has a lot of speed, so excited to see him in a different role today.
Jamie Bucell on the draw, won by Port Huron. At the point, there's a shot coming in from Federley that deflected high. And now cleared out to center ice. Kandrikoff, who had a goal last night for the Hat-Tricks, that made it 2-1 ever so briefly before a pair of second period goals gave Port Huron the lead for good. Chipped up the wall by Tukane. A baseball bat swing by Fennell gets it in deep. Played in by Parsons behind the net. Moves it back for Lockhart. Sprints a pass up the middle. Working on it is Morick. Dumped in toward the corner and played off the carom as there's a long feed cross ice. Pickford found his man. In across. Rupsov chipped out in front. He had Ruiz. Couldn't get it in on net. And now back to the point. Susinski as Lakehoff couldn't keep it on his stick. And here come the Port Huron squad out towards center ice as it is flipped in by Lucas Lockney. Played his junior career in Slovakia. Sends it cross ice back to the point. Oregon shot, hit off a body. Ruiz with a step on Graham, pushes it out to center ice. And the Prowlers will regroup as Oregon comes back for it and takes it in behind his own net, moves it back to Federley, advancing high. Puck still in the Port Huron zone. Oregon calmly flips it out to center ice before Legkoff, or check that Rupsov dumps it back in the other way. Coming up on 3 minutes and 20 seconds played in this first period. Resar out of his crease. Was a busy camper last night as the shot from DeCumbis along the wing drifted wide. Anderson battling behind the net, throws it out in front. There's a shot stopped by Resar and cleared past the point as Nick Favaro will take it back for the Prowlers. Chips it in from the left side, and Resar will play it out of his crease. Worked it back along the far wing boards. LeGros can't handle it. Anderson can. Over to Favaro, blockered away on the shot. Good save by Resar. Working in front is Tukane, and he'll glide out with it, leading the attack for the Hat-Tricks before dumping it in and coming off on a change. Long outlet and regained by the Hat-Tricks. Legkoff feeds it back, Susinski. Now to Legkoff with some room, and this is what he loves to do, just wheels it out through center, in across the line. Has good size as well, using it to his advantage as he comes around the net. Back to the forehand, finds Susinski wide open. There's his shot, and the blocker save was made by Huber. Loose in front, Robinson put it off the side of the goal. Couple of early chances here for the Hat-Tricks, trying to snap this 4-game losing skin. They've been a streaky team as Bucell drops it back off Bizal from the wing, disrupted by Susinski and out of play.
Relatively even action so far on both ends. You know, Prowlers have attacked Resar a couple times from the outside slot, a couple blocker saves from him, but again, it's Legkov just wheeling, as you said, around the outside like a bull in a china shop, and you see this the speed, but also the way he can mix up his speeds too. Stop on a dime and throw that pass right through the slot. Sasinski gets a shot and creates another chance for the Hat-Tricks.
Federley with it, feeds it across to the right point for Oregon. Back to Federley, touch pass, Lockney, a shot. That one ricochets wide as Oregon shoveling it down the wall, but Fennell gives it back to Susinski from in behind his net. Here comes the big rookie defenseman. Chips it ahead as that one skips by Kandrika. A little too far for him. Big hit along the boards. Federley digging in. Puck comes free as it angles back. Kandrika in across the line. Shovels in behind the Port Huron net. Battling Fennell. Outflanked by Oregon. The extra body belonging to the Port Huron Prowlers, and they come away with it as it's lobbed out to center ice. Jackson LeGros angles it up the boards and dumped in by Fennell as he takes a shoulder and a second bump and a third bump along the wall, and then a cross check and a hack along the leg as the officials ignore all of the extracurriculars in front of the Port Huron bench. Meanwhile, here come the Hat-Tricks along the left side. Dumped into the corner. Racing after it, Ruiz with a sharp angle try, and that one sticked out of play by Huber, and we'll take a timeout. 14-14 to play in the first. No score on the Hat-Tricks digital network.
Head over to TK's American Cafe on White Street for 80 different wing flavors and good times. With 30 flat-screen televisions and free Wi-Fi, we're the perfect spot to catch the game or enjoy a night out. Visit tksamericancafe.com for more information. TK's American Cafe. Make sure to try our hat-trick flavor. When life brings legal challenges, trust Chipman, Mizuko, and Emerson. From business law and real estate to estate planning and litigation, our experienced attorneys are here to guide you every step of the way. Proudly serving clients across Fairfield County and Western Connecticut. Learn more at danburylaw.com. Nothing freshens like an ice-cold Coca-Cola. From classic Coke to a wide variety of sparkling and still drinks, we've got something for everyone. Learn more at CokeNortheast.com, because every sip...
Back here at the Danbury Ice Arena, we are scoreless with 14-14 left in the first period. Billy McCreary watching today, the head coach of the Hat-Tricks, back when they won the Commissioner's Cup, or the President's Trophy, both a few years ago, back in 2023, and now working in the ECHL. Glad to know that Billy is watching tonight. Also, Bob Howard, who is the longtime host of the Power Play Post Show. He's been covering Binghamton hockey, well, for a really long time, since going back to my days in the American Hockey League. I know he's watching the broadcast today on YouTube, and Thanks to Bob, just a great guy and a wonderful journalist in Binghamton for pro hockey for all those teams and years, as Lucas Lockney has it. Backhand shot, that one steered aside by Resar. And taken out to center ice, leading the attack, Rupsov. Cross ice pass finds Lakehoff, dropped off to Ruiz, looking for the corner, and that one a little bit wide as it is cleared out into the hat-trick zone, and Ian Tukane will play it back in behind his net for the hat-tricks. Now gains speed, sends it out to the neutral zone. No one is there, taken back by Nicholas Favaro as he glides across the line, throws it in front, steered away by Resar. Price pinching, got it back off the carom. He feeds it to the line. Alex Johnson couldn't keep it alive, and he'll move it back to Favaro. Up the boards, Anderson takes the hit as it's stumped in. A little bit more of a physical presence from the hat-tricks this afternoon. They were trying to finesse it as the puck rides up on Tomasi along the boards. He took one under the visor, was able to recover and get it out.
Kind of got stuffed in there. Thankfully didn't hit him with too much force.
Meanwhile, 2-on-2. There's a shot coming in off the stick of Vincent DeCumbis, and we'll get a stoppage in play following the save. Well, extracurricular activity. Bobby Price, the Trine University product, had a goal in last night's game. He had the equalizer, which made it 1-1 back in the first.
He was one of the players for Fort Huron last night who definitely stood out to me. His individual speed was really noticeable coming down around the outsides, and he even cut through the middle slot a couple times last night. And a couple scrums we've seen so far, but the refs did a good job last night of cutting them off pretty early and preventing any 100-plus penalty minute nights. Definitely on the more well-behaved side last night, I'd say.
Through center ice, Lakehoff dancing across the line, barrels his way to the net, try to throw it back onto the forehand. That was stopped by Huber. Here comes Port Huron back the other way as Bucell drives it into the corner. Suzinski dropped it off, taken away. James centering and brought back by Bucell toward the corner. Behind the net for Bizal. Getting steered on by Pickford. Here comes Danbury with it out to center, led by Belfay. Now to Lakehoff. Lakehoff dancing in from the wing, and that one drifts into the netting off a deflection. Meanwhile, Sebastian Resar appears to be in some sort of discomfort. Takes off his helmet, and we'll see if the trainer comes out to have a look at him. And John Bierchin, the head coach of the Hat-Tricks, holding his hand up as if to say, hey, wait a minute, let's not drop the puck. And, well, Resar's back on his feet, puts his helmet back on, so I guess he's fine, or at least he's not asking for help.
Couldn't see when he got hit. Maybe just someone low in the slot gave him a bump on the helmet. Good to see he's all right for now.
Tukane kept it alive in the zone. In the circle, tracked down, Kandrika. And now from in behind the net, it's Graham. Playing it up the boards, tied up along the wall, shoveled back toward the corner. Fennell takes a shoulder. Port Huron able to take that out to center ice. We got a delayed penalty. It'll be on the Hat-Tricks. First power play of the night coming up as it's put in on goal by Hakala. As this Port Huron team, which struggled last night on the man advantage, going 0 for 5, will get the game's first power play as Fennell will go to the box for high sticking.
Caden Fennell, a player who took back-to-back penalties last night, including one where he was just leaving the box, and something I haven't really seen too often watching hockey. False start and called him for interference.
4 minutes, a double minor on that high stick. I didn't see who he got, but must have drawn some blood. That's usually what will make it a 4-minute minor. And that is a tough break here for the Hat-Tricks, trying to get on the board early in this first period. Their penalty kill has been solid, 6th in the league at 81%, but you give a team enough chances, Pat, they're going to bury one eventually.
Even a Port Huron group who's 12% on the year, 14th out of 14 teams in the Fed, but they got it going against Blue Ridge last weekend, so we'll see here.
Over Favaro, left circle, shot bouncing in, good slot clears. It is fired all the way down by Jordan Crom, the Calgary native. So the Hat-Tricks lose Fennell, who is always a good presence on the ice for this team with his speed and energy, as Price carries it along for Hakala. Back to Price, knifes it down in the corner, took a shove. Anderson feeds it back to the left point. Favaro there. Goes D to D to Lockhart. Pitch down the wall, a turnover. Pickford throws it out to center ice and caught by Belfay at the center red and sends it down the rest of the way as the Hat-Tricks will change up on the penalty kill. Crom out there with Ruiz along with Suzinski. Joining him is Justin Movalle, the Gloucester, Massachusetts native. Anderson dancing in, passing the slot, hit his skate. Back to the right side for Johnson. Alex Johnson moving in toward the slot. Good work by Ruiz, and another penalty coming, and it will be on Ruiz. Looks like that might be another, it's either going to be another high stick or potential. I think it's a slash. Stick was knocked out of the Port Huron player's hands. It's going to be a 5-on-3.
Really unfortunate penalty there now to go down.
And it's on Crom. I thought it was going to be Ruiz.
I thought too.
But Crom is the guy being escorted to the box.
And Jordan Crom, in addition to being a great top six forward for this group, is one of the leading penalty killers as a forward. So to lose him and Fennell now to the penalty box, real test here for the Hat-Tricks penalty kill. Sosinski, Newberg, and Movalle out there to kill this off as they go 5-on-3.
So a two-man advantage for Port Huron. And Danbury's in a bit of a pickle here for the next 2 minutes. Plus, Lockney high slot inching in. Throws it for Federley in the corner, the 5'6" defenseman. Back over to Johnson to the right side. The shot from Price is denied by Resar. Price has it back. Center point now. Johnson looking for room. Thought about teeing it up instead. Lockney fires it off the crossbar. He beat the netminder but couldn't finish, and that crossbar got a good clear.
Couple inches too high from being a 1-0 game right there.
Across the line is Federley. 1:22 left in the 5-on-3. Lockney just inches in, and that one gobbled up. Another big save by Sebastian Resar.
We talked about how Sebastian Resar is asked to do a lot compared to a lot of other goalies in the Fed, and clearly in a 5-on-3 situation, he's going to be asked to do a lot this season. Resar first in shots faced and in saves, so one of the busier goalies in the Fed.
That is not a key. As well as he has played, that is not a key to lasting success as a hockey team in this league. You want to limit opposition chances. Part of that involves blocking shots, but a lot are getting through as Lockhart has it in the Danbury zone. Back to Nick Favaro as we are more than halfway through the first. Under a minute to go in the 5-on-3. There's a chance from the right side as Lockhart eases in, but puck is deflected out of play, and we'll step aside. 9:38 to go in the opening frame. We are scoreless on the Hat-Tricks Digital Network.
Looking for the best in beverage distribution? Choose DiCello Distributors. From Anheuser-Busch to local craft beers, we offer a full range of beer, cider, and non-alcoholic options. Serving New Haven, Fairfield, and Middlesex counties, we're committed to quality service and community. Visit DiCello.com to learn more. Diversified Printing Solutions is your full-service print partner in Danbury. With over 50 years of combined experience, we handle everything from graphic design and branded premiums to bindery mailing and small or large print runs. DPS doesn't just print, we help you communicate from concept to delivery. Visit us online at dprintingsol.com. Struggling with pain or mobility issues? Turn to Hartsburg Chiropractic Health Center in Danbury. Specializing in posture correction, sports injuries, sciatica, arthritis, and more, our patients rave about personalized care and lasting results. Visit hartsburgchiropractic.com to schedule your consult.
9:38 to play in the first period from the Danbury Ice Arena. Phil Jubileo, Pat Rudberg with you on the Hat-Tricks Digital Network. Hat-Tricks find themselves down a couple of men for 54 more seconds. That is the time remaining in the penalty on Fromm. Still a minute 52 left in the double minor on Caden Fennell. Face-off is controlled by Port Huron. Favaro out of the timeout. Lockhart moves it down low. Here's Price back to Favaro, and a leg pad save made by Resar. Anderson plays it back. A good puck retrieval from the slot. Try to thread it along the ice to the corner. Missed it wide. Good hit by big Greg Suzinski to pin the puck along the boards. Back to the line for Lockhart as he moves across to the right. Lockhart racing in, gives to Favaro. Now back toward the corner. Up top now. Over to Anderson, a shot off the side of the boards. Retrieved by Bucell. And back to the line for Favaro. Favaro over to Lockhart. He shoots, they made. Rebound loose out in front. And then Favaro firing again from the circle, and that one deflected wide. Favaro's got it down low. Looks to go around Suzinski. Back to a 5-on-4. The penalty on Crom is ended. Still 55 seconds left in the double minor on Fennell. Meanwhile, in behind the net, Anderson wheeling along, shovels it back to the point. Lockhart across, Favaro inches in, a shot kicked away, and good work there by Crom. Takes it shorthanded, 1-on-4, here comes Crom. Crom from the wing, a shot, and the save is made. Stopped by Bailey Huber.
Greg Sosinski and Justin Movalle were out there for probably 3 minutes. They looked gassed going to the bench. Good to see them get off the ice. Some fresh defensemen now on Tukane and Pickford for the last 19 seconds.
Lockney with it at the line, met by Belfay. Getting some help from Robinson. The puck knuckled back, still in the Danbury zone. Taken by Johnson, fed in front. He was looking for Price, couldn't connect the other way. Here come the hat tricks. It's Robinson, back to Belfay. Belfay shoots from the circle, and it's blocked by Federley, and out it goes. As both penalties have expired, Port Huron finds themselves still scoreless after all that man advantage time.
And in those 4+ minutes, Phil, probably 80% of that was in the offensive zone. Not a lot of clearances by Danbury. That was a full-fledged assault on the hat trick's end, and a lot of chances there, but still 0-0 somehow.
It was a couple of good chances, but really a lot of perimeter movement, which didn't lead to as much as you would have liked if you're a Port Huron fan. A lot of dancing, a lot of hesitation. Sometimes you just want to get bodies to the front of the net, kind of overload the goaltender a little bit, and I didn't see enough of that. Meanwhile, here comes Pickford in front. He had Lakoff, couldn't get the shot in on goal, and now in transition, up with it is James. From the right side, met by Tukane, and coming over is Ruiz to glide that puck away. Long pass, he's got Lakoff. Lakoff moving in. Spinorama pass into the slot for Rubtsov, couldn't handle it. As Port Huron now with some speed. They'll make a change as Price still has it. Turns to the forehand, looking behind the net. Skips around. The Cumbus lost it behind the net. Gets it back along the side. And now Jackson LeGros along in the corner, lobs it high in the air. Bucell knocks that down. With it is the Cumbus. Pass in front, it's loose. Side of the net, they couldn't finish. The Cumbus was right there. That net was open. Back out now, Favaro. He shoots, it's off the glove. Another save by Resar. The Cumbus has it again, lost it, and now chipped up the wall and iced here by Danbury. Not a bad move as Rubtsov sent it all away. A lot of heavy pressure in the last moments from the Prowlers.
Very selfless move there from the Prowlers. Maybe a couple too many extra passes. Felt like they were passing back and forth across the goal mouth, and still somehow by the skin of their teeth, hat tricks still tied up here with just over 6 minutes left in the first.
Back out to the point. There's a chance from Oregon, blocked on its way through. Regained by LeGros behind the net. Jackson LeGros finding Rubtsov. He's got Lakoff up the ice, and it was deflected, so no icing here, and Lakoff will come off on a change. Timmy Oregon lobs it toward the corner. Waiting on it is Suzinski. Under 6 minutes to go in the first. 0-0 the score. 14 first period shots, many of those on the power play for Port Huron. 8 for the hat tricks. Lockhart drops that back. It's lost by Lucas Lockney in the Port Huron zone. They get it back. There's Crom with a chance. That one fought off by Huber. Good counter punch by Danbury. Susinski kept it alive at the line. Dumped toward the corner. Takes a bounce to Graham. And the player head coach for Port Huron looking. And, oh, we got a penalty in front of the Port Huron net. Fennell is down at the bottom of a pile. Now everybody is congregating right by the side of the Prowlers net. No, we don't see any gloves hit the ice yet, but right there in the mix. Kandurka kind of mauling Brian Parsons a little bit as they get back up on the ice, and tempers continue to flare as you've got Kandurka going along with Graham. Kandurka is trying to goad him into dropping the gloves, and then Graham comes in with a right hand. But right now it looks like the only men being taken to the box, once again, Caden Fennell. Parsons going to the box for Port Huron. And they may be the only ones going off. No, Lockhart's gonna, well, he's gonna go to the box, have words. And then Crom is going to bring Fennell his stick. They continue to jaw at each other. Meanwhile, we've got some interesting miming from Brian Parsons, trying to make it sound like Fennell was diving on the play. They continue to jabber away, and maybe we have something warming up here.
And you look at the replay here, Phil. Fennell on the ground as Parsons still going at him, and then I think towards the end of it, you'll see in just a second, he goes for the takedown, tries to grab the legs, and you definitely saw Parsons give the dive motion with his hands as he made his way into the box, complaining about Fennell, but Caden Fennell getting awfully familiar to that penalty box last night and today so far. As second penalty, now that it'll be 6 minutes by the end of this period. Some 4-on-4 action now in the final 5:22.
So matching penalties. Looking to figure out where to drop the puck. They'll bring it out to center ice. So matching minors. 4-on-4 for the first time. We saw that a couple of times last night. So we'll see what those penalties are. Meanwhile, hat-tricks with it in behind their net. Suzinski, a 3-on-2, leading the attack from the wing. Chipped it over to the left wing corner where it's tracked down by Noah Robinson. Robinson getting pulled. Meanwhile, there's a man down in the corner for Port Huron, and it is going to be a holding the stick penalty. And let's see who it's on. Meanwhile, Noah Robinson going over. And did he just continue to put that Port Huron player on his back? I kind of believe he did, or he's trying to get his stick. Stick was kind of wedged up in the body of that Prowler player, who I believe is going to take that penalty. He's going to go to the bench. It is on James. So holding the stick on James will lead to a power play in the first one tonight here, Pat, for the hat-tricks.
Holding the stick so much so that he didn't want to let it go. He wanted to bring it to the penalty box with him.
So we have a stoppage in play. 4:56 to go here in the first. We'll tally up all the penalties when we return right after this.
Recover with confidence at Hat City Physical Therapy. Personalized care for sports injuries, post-surgical rehabilitation, and chronic conditions. As the official PT provider for the Danbury Hat-tricks, we specialize in advanced treatments like dry needling, cupping, and KT taping. Visit us online at hatcityphysicaltherapy.com to schedule a consultation. Serving handcrafted drinks, Cash and Live Coffee Creations combine flavor, creativity, and community in every cup. Visit us online at cashandlivecoffee.com or check us out in the Danbury Ice Arena. Cash and Live Coffee Creations, where every sip tells a story. Make your stay comfortable at La Quinta Inn & Suites by Wyndham Danbury. With spacious rooms, free breakfast, and modern amenities, we've got everything you need to relax and recharge. Conveniently located in Danbury, we're perfect for business or leisure travel. Book your stay today at wyndhamhotels.com/La Quinta.
Back here in Danbury, the penalty on James is holding the stick. 15:04 time of the penalty. In the previous calls, embellishment on Fennell and Parsons for interference, and we have Danbury. A 4-on-3 power play. Crom has it along the wing. Played back out toward the line for Pickford. Pickford over to left side. Ruiz gives it back to Pickford. Back to the right circle. Rupsoff. Pickford to the left side. Ruiz a drive. It was tucked in by Hubers. Crom was hoping for a rebound. He didn't get it. This 4-on-3 will last 1 minute and 16 seconds, and that is the remaining time left in Fennell and Parsons penalty, and then we'll get a 5-on-4 for just under 30 seconds.
This is the first real test for Huber tonight. You know, he hasn't played since December 13th. Tested for the first time this period.
Back out to the point. Johnny Ruiz to the right side. Return pass to him along the boards. Plays it back to the line. Gives to Pickford. Right side, Rupsoff. Cross for Ruiz. Touches it for Pickford. Back to Ruiz. Has that big shot. Now throws it down for Crom. Try to pass across. 50 seconds left in the 4-on-3 portion of this power play. Ruiz with it at the line. Scoreless here with 4:05 remaining. Ruiz a shot, it got blocked. Ruiz in behind his net. Meanwhile, regained by Crom. Back to Ruiz. Throws it across off the skate of Rupsoff. And back out to the line. Played for Pickford. Right circle now, Rupsoff. Pickford to Ruiz with a blast. Missed the net. And contained at the line by Pickford. To the right side, Rupsoff. Back to Ruiz, inching in, looking to find that corner. Missed the net, and Pickford, good hustling to get after it, then was off balance. It is cleared out to center ice as shorthanded across the line. Bucell racing in, a shot and a save made. Big juicy rebound was left there, but now here comes Rupsoff, nearly got hooked by Bucell. As the final 23 seconds of this power play will be a 5-on-4. So, while a lot of perimeter puck movement, Pat, for this hat-trick squad in their first power play, but couldn't generate a lot of shots on goal.
Maybe a little too picky there as you see the offsides. A little too picky in the shot selection. You saw Johnny line up for a couple of slap shots, and he got some one-timers off, but a couple times just lined up for it and waited instead of just letting it go. There was some traffic in front, so would have liked to see a couple more pucks on net. And hat-tricks have been pretty good this season and capitalizing on rebounds, but still, after 17 minutes of lots of chances, it hasn't been a quiet period. Still 0-0.
Shots 15-10 for Port Huron. Hat-tricks control. Ian Tukane tries to find room. He'll skate it across. And it's back to 5-on-5 hockey. So the hat-tricks 0 for 1 in the power play, combined 0 for 3 when you factor in the 0 for 2 from Port Huron in this game as the Prowlers bring it out through center. Across the line, back to the right wing, flipped in on net, played back off the stick of Austin Belfay. Tracked down by Lockhart in the Prowlers zone. Belfay continues to pressure him, and it deflects off his stick and out of play with 2:34 to go in the first. This was a game that originally was supposed to be played on Friday night. The snow had other plans. Fans that had tickets for that game using them today, or you could come out and, you know, on short notice, usually a lot of times you have your Sunday afternoons planned, but not a bad presence here at the DIA today, given the relatively short notice of this one.
Definitely. Who needs the NFL slate when you have some Federal Prospects Hockey League action?
Well, unless I guess you're a Patriots fan, you know, that they're doing well, but the other New York teams or Northeast teams are doing lousy, considering the Giants and the Jets both stink. Although that game later today between the Giants and the Raiders, well, battle for the worst in the National Football League. If that is something that you're into, this is more exciting at the moment as it's carried across the line by Mo Valley. Under 2 minutes to play in this first period. Still no score in the contest. Digging in along the left side is Kandurka. Coming away with it is Legkoff. Here's Legkoff. Feeds Legro at the point. Fettered it down low. Off his stick. Wraparound try from Ruiz is denied. Rolling puck along the side. Nice pass to Price. Has it back out at center for the Prowlers. Port Huron changing. Price carrying the mail in across the line. Makes a nice move, but then falls to a knee as the hat-tricks dig in. Another holding the stick there, I thought, but no penalty called. Meanwhile, hat-tricks with a steal. And it was Legkoff. There comes Legkoff. And across the line, couldn't hop around his man as it's turned back to Favaro of Port Huron. Up off the skate of Decumbis. Angles back behind the center red line. Decumbis back with it. And now it's taken in. There's a shot in on goal by Bizal. And that one pawed down to the ice is the first puck in a while for the netminder, Sebastian Resar. Face off with under a minute to go will be in the Danbury end. By the way, tomorrow afternoon at 5 o'clock, the ice will be turfed And Spice City FC will begin their second season in MASL 2. Tickets are available at spicecityfc.com. You can visit all of their socials. They have a special going on for season tickets as well. They'll have 6 home games out of the 12-game slate, and they play tomorrow and Tuesday. Both games are at 5 o'clock. If you are so inclined. If not, we'll have the broadcast for you on YouTube on the Spice City FC channel. Puck back in the Port Huron zone as both teams battle for it. Crawling in is Frondudo for the hat tricks, trying to get to that puck off the wall. 3-on-3 battle. Puck still tied up along the wall. Finally, an official comes in to have a look at it. Let that go on for a bit. There's a shot from Tukane, and that drifts wide. Back on the right side, spinorama pass in front. On his way to the net was Newberg. Net knocked off its moorings, and that'll bring the face-off out with 19 seconds to play in the opening 20.
Really nice work there from the fourth line. Frondudo just skipping across from left to right and backhanding that one across the goal mouth, and nobody there in front, but some more positive work from this group who continue to just plug away, and Coach Beerton started them out there to start the period and done a lot of good work on the penalty kill too. You saw Newberg, you saw Frondudo both out there on the 5-on-3 in spurts.
Top line out there for Danbury. Robinson losing the faceoff. Played ahead. Johnson with the lead pass for Graham. Now for Lockney at the wing. Shot disrupted by Pickford with 7.6 to go in the first. Face-off to stay in the hat-trick zone. So unlike last night where the two teams traded off a goal, very tight defensive battle, Pat, between these two clubs.
Definitely. Maybe some people might be surprised to see that, considering, you know, they're only playing maybe 14 hours ago, so maybe some slow legs might be giving up some extra chances, but it has not been that so far as we head towards the end of the first here.
And the horn sounds with 20 minutes in the books. We are scoreless here at the Danbury Ice Arena. Zeros on the board, shots on goal unofficially, 16 for Port Huron, 12 for the Hat-Tricks, who went 0 for 1 on the man advantage, while Port Huron was 0 for 2, which also included a full 2-minute 5-on-3 stretch during that time. We'll step aside and be back with the second period in just a little bit. It is 0-0 on the Hat-Tricks digital network.
Dreaming of your next getaway? Let Expedia Cruises Brookfield turn that dream into reality. Our local travel experts offer personalized planning for cruises, all-inclusive resorts, escorted tours, and more. Whether you're seeking a tropical escape or a European adventure, we've got you covered. Visit ExpediaCruises.com to start planning today. At Golf Lounge 18, we deliver state-of-the-art virtual golf fun in Danbury and throughout Connecticut. Equipped with TrackMan 4 technology, our bays allow golfers to play real courses indoors. Reserve your bay or learn more at golflounge18.com. Golf Lounge 18, real golf all year round. Step into Gray Scent Boutique and Candle Bar, where style and creativity come together. Browse our curated finds, enjoy permanent jewelry, or craft your own custom scented candle. Located in Bethel, Connecticut, we're the perfect spot for gifts, gatherings, and unforgettable experiences. Visit grayscent.com for more information. Got a leak, clog, or plumbing problem you can't ignore? Call Hope Plumbing, your trusted local experts for fast, reliable service. Located in Prospect, Connecticut, help is just a call away. Visit thehopecos.com or call 203-663-3223 today to learn more. Because when it comes to plumbing, there's always hope. Building something great starts with the right materials. At Kellogg Hardwood Lumber, we supply premium hardwoods, custom millwork, and quality lumber for builders, craftsmen, and DIYers alike. Located in Bethel, Connecticut, we're your trusted source for strength, beauty, and reliability in every project. Visit KelloggHardwoods.com today. Stay warm this winter with Mitchell Oil. From heating oil and propane delivery to HVAC installation and service, we offer comprehensive solutions for homes and businesses. With automatic delivery options, flexible pricing plans, and 24/7 emergency service, Mitchell Oil ensures your comfort year-round. Visit Mitchell.com to become a customer today. Mitchell Oil, ready to serve you. When disaster strikes, Paul Davis is here to help. We provide fast and reliable restoration services from properties damaged by water, fire, mold, or storms, serving both homes and businesses with 24/7 emergency response. Check us out online at pauldavis.com to find a location near you. Looking for a premier golfing experience? Visit Richter Park Golf Course, the #2 public course in the New York metro area. With 4 sets of tees, we challenge golfers of all skill levels. Open daily, Richter Park offers competitive rates and online tee time reservations. Visit richterpark.com to book your round today. Bring back your curb appeal with Rinse and Wash Pressure Washing. From driveways and decks to siding and storefronts, we make your surfaces shine like new. Our team delivers fast, professional results you can count on. Visit rinseandwashct.com today to schedule your clean, because a fresh look starts with a rinse and wash. Stacy's Totally Baked crafts freshly baked goods daily, from cookies and cupcakes to signature cakes for every occasion. Based in Ridgefield, we serve local cafes, cater events, and accept custom orders. Visit stacystotallyBaked.com to browse our menu and place your order. Stacy's Totally Baked, where every bite is made with love. Hungry for a steak? Come to Texas Roadhouse for hand-cut steaks, fall-off-the-bone ribs, and made-from-scratch sides in a fun, family-friendly setting. Whether you're dining in or ordering to go, Texas Roadhouse offers legendary food and service. For more information, visit texasroadhouse.com/Danbury. At Ventura Law, we speak your language, know your culture, and understand your story. For over 65 years, we've been fighting for the rights of injured individuals across Connecticut and New York. Our compassionate bilingual attorneys guide you through every step, making sure your voice is heard. Visit venturalaw.com for a free consultation. Ventura Law, justice you can trust. Transform your outdoor space with Yard Goats Landscaping, located in Bethel, Connecticut. From spring cleanups and tree work to custom patios, fencing, and masonry, we're your one-stop shop for all things landscaping. Visit yardgoats.io for a free consultation. Yard Goats Landscaping, where your dream yard becomes reality. Need reliable equipment for your next project? Turn to Decker Tool Rental. With locations in Danbury, Bridgeport, and beyond, we offer a full range of rental tools and heavy machinery. Whether you're a contractor or DIYer, our knowledgeable staff ensures you get the right gear for the job. Visit DeckerCatRentalStore.com today. Looking to upgrade your ride or home? Choose Emerald Tint, your premier window tinting masters for Fairfield County. Whether it's automotive, residential, commercial, or marine tinting, we use high-quality ceramic films for superior heat rejection, UV protection, and enhanced privacy. Visit emeraldtint.com today. Raise the glass to great beer at Charter Oak Brewing Company, located here in Danbury. Enjoy 10 rotating drafts, live local music, and a shaded beer garden perfect for your next event. Visit us online at charteroakbrewing.com to learn more.
Both teams have returned to the ice here at the Danbury Ice Arena. We get set for the second period on the Hat Tricks Network. Alongside Pat, I'm Phil. 0-0 through 20 minutes of action. Shots on goal in the first period, 17 for Port Huron, a dozen for the Hat Tricks, who went 0 for 1 on the power play. Port Huron 0 for 2 on the man advantage, as the Hat Tricks will skate from right to left here in this second period. Pat, much like last night, I mean, this one was a little bit more physical in the opening 20. We had a few skirmishes on that weird sequence, which led to the interference / embellishment matching minors, with about 5.5 minutes left in the first period. But otherwise, very similar to last night. Both teams generating some chances, not a lot of grade A opportunities. And yeah, I think you said it best when, you have that short turnaround, going from a game that ended at 9:30 last night to a 1 o'clock face-off. It is very atypical for teams in this league.
Yeah, very slow start, to get the legs under you. It's almost like a baseball type schedule where you're finishing up late at night and you're back out here 14 hours later. And hockey's a little more intensive than baseball, I got to say. So that's why you see Port Huron going with a new goalie. Surprised to see Sebastian Resar back in there on 0, maybe 12 hours rest. Hopefully he got a good night's sleep, but still scoreless, and maybe we'll see the offenses come to life and get a couple goals on the board for period number 2.
Well, the team with the best conditioning in a game like this is likely the one to win. So we'll see how it goes here on a Sunday. Bizal centers it ahead to James, back checked away. Now regained, Bucell glides across the line, pass through across, broken up, and taken back along the far side boards, played toward the wall by Frondudo as he got it out to center ice, now turned back the other way as Port Huron got it to the line, but no further. Tukane lobs that high in the air, icing waved off as Lockhart plays it shy of the red line, and he flips that out to center ice. Bizal moves it across to the right side. Pucell is there. And regained by the Hat Tricks behind their own net. Opening minute of the second. Long pass in up off the boards. Falling down to the ice was Frondudo. As once again, John Bierchin going with that fourth line. But now they start to change up. Lakehoff fires it to the corner. Noah Robinson looks to get there. He got fronted. Shoveled back toward the corner. Played up along the ice by DeCumbis. And now cross ice as it is cleared up ahead. Onside. Price pass across, a shot. And that one did not hit the net. Anderson had a great look from the right wing circle. Good pass by Price, but not a shot on goal as we remain at zeros. Coming up on 90 seconds played in the second period. Noah Robinson digging by the Port Huron bench and regained by the Hat Tricks in their zone. Pickford looking ahead for Lakehoff, mistimed the pass. No icing here as it's played by Favaro. Hakala has that knocked away. It'll come to Huber in front, and the goaltender's got to smother it with 18-19 to play in the second.
Yeah, just another good start from the fourth line again, being physical without committing penalties, and then get an opportunity to get the first line on there. But now the third line out with Caden Fennell centering this third line.
A little bit of a different look. They'll drop the puck again. Fennell played his college hockey at Johnson in Wales prior to turning pro. There's a point shot from Mo Valley that got steered aside by Huber. Tukane back at the point, flips a shot, hit off a skate, angles toward the corner. Crom is there and behind the net as Fennell couldn't get it any further. Regained in the corner. There's a chance from the right wing circle. Kandurka fired it high. He'll chip it back in. Took a funny bounce off the corner. We have seen that bounce several times this weekend already from that left wing corner. You play it right and you have a guy in the slot, that could be an opportunity, but there was no one there in that last moment for the Hat Tricks as it's lobbed back along the boards. Hat Tricks flip it out to center ice. Kandurka racing after it, but regained by Favaro in his own end. He'll cut across his net and now retreat with 2.5 gone by. Scoreless here in the second period. Hat Tricks got it back. They were looking to chip it ahead for Kandurka. Driven back in behind the net. Resar plays it back. A little pitch and catch with Susinski. Tukane there. With just the 5 defensemen, John Bierchin has had to just kind of mix and match those D pairings all afternoon long. They dig along the wall. It's led by Ruiz, and the veteran from Jersey digs that out And here comes the captain for the Danbury Hat-Tricks as he gains the center line. Drives it around, back along the near side. Playing along the wall was Rupsov. Also Legkov, so the two Russians battling for it for the Hat-Tricks. Hit along the boards as Legkov was slowed a bit. And now back along the corner, it is Bucell. And off the stick of James, it'll come back out in front. And again, Huber has to smother that with 16:36 left in the period.
Couple tie-ups in the corners on both ends. And you see puck spilled out to the opposite corner there. Bucell, just instead of deciding to clear it, he kind of just pinned it against the boards and waited for another scrum to develop in the opposite side and lead to the puck coming across goal. Another face-off here in the O-zone for the Hat-Tricks.
Fourth line on, Frondudo, Newberg, and Tomasi, with Legros on defense, joined by Susinski. Regained at the center line. Newberg drives it in, the Westfield, New Jersey native. Or Huron's Anderson chips it to his left. Carried through, back to Anderson, in along the line. As he's forced back out wide, cross-ice pass, fails to connect for Federle. He's got to hustle all the way back for it. Chipped out to center ice, and here come the Prowlers in across the line. Tecumseh along the boards. Sharp angle try, steered aside, another stop made by Resar as it goes out of play. Face off to stay inside the Danbury end. Both teams will change. Pickford back on the ice with Movalle. The top line of Robinson, Legkov, and Belfay return to the ice. Austin Belfay, his uncle, scored the first goal in Danbury Trashers history. October 15, 2004, Blake Belfay, a power play goal against the Adirondack squad, the Frostbite, and what was a 3-1 win for the Trashers in their season inaugural game.
You say 2004, Phil?
Yep, I'm dating myself. 2004, and that Adirondack team was co-owned by Steve Levy along with Barry Melrose of ESPN.
Well, I hate to age you even more, but October 15th, 2004 was a day before my third birthday. So
wow.
Sadly, I was not conscious of the Trashers then, but maybe in spirit I was.
And there's a shot from the wing off the glove and out. Yeah, you were barely around at that time, huh? Look at that, making me feel old.
I hate to do it to you, but
it's all good. It's all good. At least you were around for it. Now, obviously, you weren't here in the building that night, but you were on the earth. You're on the planet.
I think I was maybe 35 miles down the road in New Haven, Connecticut.
There you go. Rich hockey history in New Haven. In fact, this was kind of the response to Trashers to. There was a New Haven Knights team that played in the UHL that didn't last very long, and then the Coliseum was shuttered and torn down. The Trashers partially kind of a response to that to get another team in this area in the U-Haul, as they would call it back then. Meanwhile, a little over 5 minutes played in the second period here. Hat-Tricks look to get it out to center. Barely they do. Bucell drives it back in. Bizal tracks it down off the corner. He waits. We remain scoreless here in the second period as Austin Belfay takes it off the boards. Belfay drives it in. As it rims around back to Crom on the right side. He'll try to reverse it, but the puck hits an edge and wobbles a bit. And meanwhile, a turnover. Crom aggressively on the forecheck. Nearly got it back on his stick. Now Kandurka's got it. Here's Caden Kandurka trying to dance around a trio of Prowlers as James came away with it. Lead pass was too far. And gained by Tukane as he gets it up ahead to Crom along the right side. It's a 3-on-3, but Crom will dump it in. And meanwhile, trying to hustle it down was Caden Fennell. Applies the body on Favaro, the two number 2s battling. Meanwhile, back forward is Suzinski as he had a stride ahead of Lucas Lockney. Long pass ahead. Fennell had trouble in front of his bench playing that puck, and the Prowlers regain possession. Snap pass off the near wing board. Suzinski dumps it out to center. Kandurka was looking to lead Fennell a bit too far there, and Suzinski finds the puck in the circle with 13:42 and counting left in the middle 20. So now the Hat-Tricks will slow it down a little bit as they look to bring it out. Center ice a little too far for Rubtsov, and dumped in, played by Price in the corner. This is the only game in the Fed today. So we don't have anything to scoreboard watch. Good opportunity for the Hat-Tricks to get 3 points, and well, they won't really climb. They'll be able to climb back into 4th place in the standings. They're a point out of a 4th place tie. Meanwhile, flip back in by Port Huron from the corner. Anderson battling for possession. DeCumbis in there as well for the Prowlers, digging in as Pickford got it over Rupsoff. Couldn't keep it on his stick. Quick shot inside, rebound, they score! It was DeCumbis right at the base of the right wing circle, and Port Huron has taken a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, Phil, there's been a couple of those where Resar spilt a rebound in front and hasn't been punished by it yet, but this time definitely was. You see the shot from the point, and DeCumbis right there to clean it up. Off the left pad, and an easy finish there for DeCumbis, his 3rd goal of the season.
Now for DeCumbis, playing in game number 96 of his Fed career, the 5'10" forward out of Freeburg, Ohio. That's his 15th career goal in the FPHL. So he makes it 1-0 as there's a shot coming in. So tonight, the Hat-Tricks find themselves behind early, and can they return fire to get the equalizer? Movali shot ends up out of play, and we'll step aside with 12:39 left in the middle 20. It's Port Huron leading Danbury 1-0 on the Hat-Tricks Digital Network.
Looking for top quality meats? Omaha Beef Company is your go-to wholesale food distributor. We carry a wide selection of beef, poultry, pork, cheeses, and pantry staples. Visit omahabeefcompany.com to learn more. Omaha Beef Company, serving Connecticut with quality you can count on. Is joint pain slowing you down? At Ortho Connecticut, our team of expert orthopedic surgeons and specialists get you back to doing what you love pain-free. From sports injuries to joint replacement, we offer advanced care close to home. Visit myorthoct.com to schedule your appointment today. Looking for a brighter smile? Stony Hill Dental Care offers comprehensive dental services, including sedation, cosmetic, and preventive care. Schedule your appointment today at stonyhilldental.com. Stony Hill Dental Care, where your smile comes first. Get your tickets fast and easy at Tixer.com, the official ticketing partner of the Danbury Hat-Tricks. We make it simple to buy, sell, and manage tickets. Get your tickets today at Tixer.com and cheer on your Danbury.
Parsons with the assist on the DeCumbis goal at 7:07 of the second period. The Prowlers looking to win a 4th straight game. A 1-0 lead over the Hat-Tricks as the faceoff will be to the left of Bailey Huber.
A 4th straight win after 6 straight losses, so continuing this turnaround Port Huron are so far today.
You look at this Port Huron team, and the goaltending has been really good. We saw it last night from Cooper. Huber looking pretty solid. You would imagine Cooper gets a deep playoff run if they get there, as there's a chance from the right side. The shot was deflected off the stick of Tukane. Now loose in front, Fandon regained, and the shot by Movali drifts wide. That initial chance coming in by Newberg, and he fell down trying to get there. Meanwhile, it's Bucell back into the Hat-Trick zone. Pass across. Good stick in the lane as Tomasi dumps it out of play, and we get a stoppage with 11:59 to go in the second period. But talking about this Prowler squad, still looking for their first Commissioner's Cup trophy. They have depth, and it looks like it might be a delay of game here on Tomasi. So first penalty called in the second period. But they have depth. They're balanced. There's no one or two players that stand out more than any other. You kind of like the depth. And then, of course, goaltending. You get hot goaltending in a playoff run, anything is possible. Well, there's A.J. Galante, the general manager of the Danbury Hat-Tricks. He was with us last night on the broadcast, as it is the 3rd power play of the night for the Port Huron Prowlers. A delay of game. So here comes Hat-Tricks shorthanded briefly before the Prowlers regain control. Here comes Graham off the skate. Graham in across the line, moves it to the left side, drop back off by Johnson. Meanwhile, some good work by Crom, couldn't get it out. A little bit off balance here as Bucell Tries to work it back up to the top. He finds Austin Federle. Federle back to the left side. Johnson to the baseline along the corner. Back up top to Federle. Now for Lockney along the sidewall. Straight on for Johnson. Lets it go. Ricocheted off the wall. And Movali able to get that one. Fires it 200 feet down as we are halfway through the Tomasi penalty for a delay of game.
You see two fourth-line forwards out there again, killing off the penalty, Newberg and Frondudo.
Well, Newberg trying to catch up. Bavaro went across the line, his stick lifted, and now played back to the far wing side. Shoved in along the walls. It's fired back in deep. Now Anderson for the Prowlers. Gives it back. Price in the corner. As the puck squirts out high, that'll allow Danbury to take it out to center. Pass across for Pickford. Short-handed in across the line. Good bump there by Lockhart. Timed that well to dislodge the puck from Pickford with 20 seconds remaining in the delay of game penalty on Danbury. Anderson wheels in. Stops short at the point. Behind the net for Price. Looking to play it back up to Anderson. Skips by him for Lockhart, who had a goal last night. Left side is shot by Favaro. Fails to hit the net. And to the right point, Lockhart moves it down, and a mistimed pass. Unforced error moves it out to center ice, and we're back to 5-on-5 as Port Huron with a 1-0 lead. Now 0 for 3 in the power play. Here's a chance from the left circle. The save is made. Puck loose in behind the net. Now back to the side of the goal. Price retrieves it to Federle at the line, lets it through, and a lot of traffic knocked that down before it could get to the goalkeeper, Resar. Noah Robinson right on the tape. Leikoff, who we haven't seen a lot of here in the second period, dancing in across the line. He's got those wheels, looks to go around Oregon. Pass in the slot, all right there was Robinson. He fanned on it. A grade A opportunity denied on a spill of the ice as James with a shot, blocked by Susinski. Can Port Huron counter there from the wing? Firing is Morick, and a stoppage in play after the save by Resar. 9:13 to go in the second period. It's 1-0 Port Huron on the Prowlers and the Danbury Hat-Tricks Digital Network.
Fire up your appetite with Twins Barbecue Company. Smoked meats, bold flavors, and barbecue that brings people together. Stop by for ribs, brisket, wings, and more in Brookfield. Visit twinsbbqco.com to view our menu, order online, or find our next food truck stop. Twins Barbecue. There's nothing better than smoking hot Twins. Looking to make your brand stand out? Vision Designs in Brookfield has you covered. From custom screen printing and embroidery to eye-catching signs, banners, and promotional products, they bring your ideas to life with unmatched quality and service. Visit VisionDesignCT.com. Vision Designs, where your vision becomes reality. Looking to elevate your night out? At Illicit Brewing Company, we feature a beer hall, cocktail bar, arcade, lounge, and private event space. Enjoy a diverse menu, live music, trivia nights, and more. Visit illicitbrewing.com/Danbury for more information.
9:13 to play in the second period. The Prowlers leading the Hat-Tricks 1-0 on the Hat-Tricks Digital Network. Following the media timeout, face-off will be back in the Danbury end as Robinson, Belfay, and Leikoff return, along with Susinski and Tomasi, while it's Graham, Hakala, Lockney, Federle, and Organ for the Prowlers squad. And the goal scored by DeCumbis, knocked in a rebound at 7:07 of the second period, and that's all we have today. As it's lobbed up the ice, big speed from Leikoff, who looked like he had the edge on Lockney, and the rookie not happy with that icing call.
Looked like he was neck and neck there. I don't know about Ty goes to the runner, but just another example of his speed on the edge.
Well, he can motor. However, he's been held fairly in check by this Port Huron team, certainly keying in on him. They're not giving him the middle of the ice at all. As it is Johnson, back to the point, a drive, Favaro saved the rebound, flip just wide. A great scoring chance from down low in front by Morick. He was right there below the hash marks. Susinski couldn't move it back around. Regained briefly. And they score. Point shot. It was Favaro from the point with a lot of traffic in front. And it's 2-0 Prowlers. Favaro with the goal. And that is his 9th of the season for the blue liner out of Ontario.
Yeah, Favaro, you'll see it here. Throws it from as far away as you possibly can, just on the edge of the blue line, and doesn't look like there's any tips here.
No, they said you know what, he got pointed to right away. Good screen set out in front. So 9th goal of the season, 11th career goal for Favaro. He's got 18 points on the year. Now a big deficit here for this Danbury squad, who's had trouble putting the puck in the net this week, and they had the 2 last night. But so far today, 16 shots on goal, just 4 of those coming in the second period, and they are a step behind this Prowlers squad as Bizal with it in the corner, works it back in behind the net, regained by Lockhart, chips it out to center ice, and now Bucell hustling after it. He's got James with him, and the pass is broken up. Nice work by Susinski, using that big 6'4" frame to get in the way of the centering feed. Here come the hat tricks now, trying to make this a 1-goal game. Kandurka to Fennell. Susinski trailing shot off the boards as Fennell with it back along the right side. Caden Fennell to the corner. Kandurka tied up along the wall as we're under 7:40 to play in the second period. So DeCumbis and Price getting the assists on the goal for DeCumbis, his second point of the game. And Price, his second point of the weekend, had a goal last night, which had tied the game at 1. Prowlers played across the line. Little dance move to the slot by Artu Hakala. Graham with it in the corner. He got met by Tukane. Punched up the boards. Taken now by Rupsov. In across the line. Gets around Federley. Federley, a nice recovery, using that stick to poke that one free. He found Graham as the clear out deflects right back to the captain. Now a poor pass as Lakoff took it away for Rupsov, and he got upended at the Port Huron line. Couldn't get to it as Ruiz with it in the corner. Dumped it down. Federley snaps it up the boards in the circle. Rupsov gives it back to Tomasi. Now to the line. Here's LeGros firing. Stick save made by Huber. Back along the wing. Spinning around a bit. As turned off the puck was Frandudo, and there's a player down in the corner. Injured player. That is the assistant coach player on this team, Alex Johnson. And he does appear to be in a bit of discomfort with 6:26 left in the second period.
Yeah, took a hard hit there from Newberg in the corner, still on the ice.
Now the Port Huron trainer racing out to have a look at Johnson, who was writhing in a bit of pain. And the referees today, William Lyons and Justin Crawford, having a conversation. Nothing was whistled.
You do see the penalty box door
it
is
is
temporarily open. Newberg is back towards the bench.
I don't know if there's something they can review to look at. Usually in review situations, you're reviewing for a major, but Johnson's back up on his feet. He appears to be okay. Get some stick taps from everybody on both sides of the ice.
He's kind of pointing to his back area now, to kind of his rib cage. So good to see him back up, skating off.
And he's going to take his stick and rejoin the bench. So following the stoppage in play, looks like just a face-off, and now they're trying to figure out where to drop the puck. Puck was out of the zone when the whistle stopped play after recognizing that Johnson was injured, and it appears to be, let's see, center ice. Noah Robinson is pointing back in the Port Huron zone as to say this should be an offensive zone draw, and it will be for the Hat Tricks.
First line back out there for Danbury. A good opportunity here, down 2 goals. A little bit of time left in the second period to provide a spark. Not a lot of energy, not a lot of momentum really in the Hat Tricks' favor at this point in the game.
Rink-wide pass is broken up. Anderson with speed into the Danbury zone. Has it in the corner where he is met by LeGros. Rubs him out along the boards. Now taken back by Legkoff. Alex Legkoff Sprinting through, Lakoff dancing to the right side. Lakoff with his shot blocked in front. Rebound put in on net. Huber the save as it goes out of play.
And that's what you were talking about earlier, Phil, with not letting Legkov cut to the inside, and he was able to there and get off a good shot, and probably one of the best chances of the period.
Yeah, you know what Legkoff is missing is someone that can keep up with him on the Danbury side of the ice. He has such great speed, and oftentimes will try to go one on however many men are back, and he does generate some chances, but it seems like he's at his best when there's someone with him, and if he can have that, certainly will be helpful as Bucell plays it into the Danbury zone, spins around a check attempt from Rubtsov, flung it in front, but taken back by Ruiz, and here come the hat tricks. Johnny Ruiz will flip it in on goal as Huber holds on for an offensive zone draw coming for the hat tricks. 5:45 to play in the second final home game of 2025 for this Danbury squad. They will go on a road trip and play in Florence, South Carolina on New Year's Eve, and then again on January 2nd. They're going to get some nice weather for New Year's. And, it's in the 50s today, and appears to be so throughout the week down there. So not like what we're seeing here. It's nothing but cold, frosty weather.
Don't think there's going to be any snow down towards the Ice Cats Arena, unlike today.
Off the draw, Oregon. Spun around, Lockney. Can't hack it out, Crom. Jammed it back in behind the net. Rubtsov played it back toward the corner. Lockney is there, giving it Federley. Got it out to center. Fennell patrolling in the neutral zone, playing defense now as it's dumped in as it took an angle back to the front of the net. And now Hakala plays it across. Federley skating up with it. And the veteran lobs it in to the corner where it's forced up the boards, contained by Lockney. Now Graham centering, no one there. Glove down, Favaro with the line to keep it in. Back to Oregon, his shot save. Rebound, they score! Right by the side of the net. That is the second rebound goal given up by Port Huron, or by the Danbury hat tricks to Port Huron. Here in this middle frame, it is now a 2-0 lead for the Prowlers, as this one picked up right by the side of the net by Graham.
Yeah, mirror image to the first goal earlier this period. Just a loose rebound off a pad save and stuffed right home by Graham, leading goal scorer on the team. And 3 goals in the second period, stretching this out for Port Huron, looking to make it another weekend sweep against their Connecticut rivals.
Fed goal number 174 in Matt Graham's career, and that is his 12th of the season. Pass in front, Lakoff was right there, and he couldn't knock it in from midair. So a chasm of a deficit right now for the hat tricks, who trail 3-0 with under 5 minutes to go in the second period. Lob pass ahead. DeCumbis deflects it in, thrown back out in front, but now regained by Noah Robinson. Leads it ahead for Belfay. Belfay in across the line. Belfay backhands a shot. Huber the save. Favaro in behind his net. And now you just see a ton of life for this Port Huron team. Anderson plays it in. Anderson, a shot blocked. Regained by DeCumbis. And reverse back around. Favaro is there to throw it deep. Cleared out to center ice. And there's Belfay to dump it in again. Took that funny bounce off the corner. Loose in the slot. No one for the hat tricks can get there. Whipped out to center ice, and LeGros will deliver it back in as we are under 4 minutes to go in the second period. A 3-0 lead here for this Port Huron Prowlers squad. The third Port Huron goal. This was scored by Graham. Favaro and Lockney with the assists on the goal. So Favaro, who had the second goal, has a multi-point game, and Lockney gets on the board here in this contest. Ian Tukane. This has really quieted the crowd here in Danbury.
I was about to say, Phil, it is the quietest I've heard it in a couple months.
It is a library here at the DIA, which is something very unaccustomed to if you've come to pro games here over the years. Long lob pass ahead as it's deflected in. Tukane will gather it in behind his net, whips it up the boards. A little bit too far for Tomasi. Drop back off Federley. Has his step. Flips it in with 2:48 and counting left in the second period. All Port Huron here in the middle 20 after a scoreless first. 3-0 Prowlers. Lockney moves it back. Alex Johnson returned to the game, so he was banged up earlier. Appears to be okay for the player assistant coach of this Prowlers squad. Behind the net, LeGros looking for Tomasi. Fourth line partially on for this team, but you've got Kandurka out there as well. Now over to Anderson. Picked up at center and across the line. Johnson drops it off. Give and go. Back to Johnson in the corner. He got pressed along the boards. Pass across to Price at the point. Moves it down in behind the net. Coming up on 2 minutes to play here in the second period. All Prowlers here in the middle 20. As it is regained by Fennell, who has worked his way back to defense in this game. And now here comes a 2-on-1. There's a pass in front, backhand shot. Oh, what a stop. Kandurka was robbed by Bailey Huber. Biggest save of the night for the Port Huron goaltender, looking to, in a rare start, shine. We got a penalty coming. Power play coming up with 1:39. We'll tell you about it when we return. 3-0 Prowlers leading Danbury on the Hat-Tricks Digital Network.
Start your morning off right at Grounds Donut House. Enjoy our oversized artisanal donuts paired with premium coffee. For a unique treat, don't miss our ice cream-filled donuts. If you're looking for a sweet way to kick off your day, visit us in Danbury or check us out online at groundsdonuthouse.com/Danbury. Looking for great craft beer and live music? Visit Housatonic River Brewing in New Milford. Enjoy handcrafted ales in our rustic tap room or outdoor beer garden along the scenic Housatonic River. We're open Wednesday through Sunday with live music every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Check out our full schedule and offerings at HousatonicRiverBrewing.com. Looking for reliable waste management? Choose Interstate Waste Services, your local family-owned provider since 1998. We provide comprehensive waste and recycling solutions for homes and businesses with a commitment to sustainability and community. For more information, visit interstatewaste.com.
Noah Robinson interference is the call at 18:21 of the second period. So the Prowlers with a 3-0 lead will go on the power play for a fourth time, Pat.
Boy, that would have been a real chance for the Hat-Tricks going the other way, but now, like you said, another chance on the power play for Port Huron, who's been relatively dormant, the bottom of the league on the man advantage, but we'll see if they can continue their momentum they've had on the 5-on-5 this period.
Now, if they don't score here, they'll carry some power play time into the third. Big clear by the Hat-Tricks to send it down 200 feet. Starting up with it is Federley. Federley shadowed by Crom. Chipped ahead, waiting on it is Graham, who has the third goal in this contest. Now over for Alex Johnson. Johnson with it from the wing, works it back to Bucell. Ahead to the line for Federley. Had a fight to keep that puck in. As we come up on a minute to play in the second, there's a shot from the left side, and that one is tucked in. Another save by Sebastian Resar, who's had to battle in this game. You look at the goals that he has given up, and second chances in front, not a lot of help around the top of the crease. And again, this is how this Port Huron team likes to score goals. They'll get bodies to the front of the net. They'll look for the loose change, find opportunities to overload the front, and it's been successful for them this weekend.
And you'd like to see the Hat-Tricks do the same on their end. Just throw some bodies in front. They have some bigger forwards that they can send towards Huber, a goalie who hasn't played all that much, getting the start over Cooper this afternoon, but they really haven't challenged him too much despite the shot total being relatively close, 26-20 right now in favor of the visitors.
Final 40 seconds of the period. Anderson with it, feeds the point, cross ice, went through the wickets of Favaro. Anderson plays it back. Favaro misplays it. Comes all the way back in with under 30 seconds to go in the second period. Robinson serving a penalty for interference at 18:21 of the second. Moves it across, back to Anderson. Has an angle, waits, shoots, looking top corner, and fought off by Resar, and into the mesh it goes with 13.7 to play in the period.
Right now for Danbury, you're just looking to get into the locker room down 3-0 at this point. No last second goals given up on the penalty kill here. It's already been a dead enough period to begin with. You want to get into the locker room and try to figure out a way to get back in this one and kill off this power play here at the start of the third, ideally.
Face off in the near circle. Ruiz wins the draw back, cleared by Susinski as we're under 10 seconds to play. Huber's been outstanding tonight, 21 of 21, looking for his first career shutout. Long pass ahead as it's deflected in by Graham. The horn sounds and the period comes to an end. So a big middle 20 for Port Huron. They score 3 unanswered goals and lead the Hat-Tricks 3-0 after 40 minutes of play. 12 second period shots for the Prowlers. They scored 3 times, a game total of 29, and for Danbury, 9 shots on goal in the second period, a 40-minute total of 21. We'll step aside and come back with the third in a little bit. It's 3-0 Prowlers, and you're watching the Danbury Hat-Tricks Digital Network.
Remember when a night out didn't break the bank? When fun was simple, social, and full of laughter? Bowling is still that place. Affordable, timeless, and made for everyone. Get more laughs per dollar bowling at Spins Bowl.
Back here at the Danbury Ice Arena, third period about to begin on the Hat Tricks Digital Network. 3-0 Port Huron leading the Hat Tricks with 20 seconds remaining in Noah Robinson's interference penalty. The one area where Port Huron has not excelled this weekend has been on the power play, a combined 0 for 8 between last night's 0 for 5 performance and 0 for 3 thus far. And you go back to the first period, Pat, in this game when the Hat Tricks killed off a 4-minute double minor on Caden Fennell, and that also included 2 minutes of a 5-on-3, and you thought momentum would be on the Hat Trick side, but it was all Port Huron in the second.
Yeah, definitely 3 goals at even strength, and not really clean goals, but hey, they count every way they come. A lot of loose rebounds off Resar's pads that stuffed home by Graham and DeCumbus. So Port Huron able to capitalize. They have 20 more seconds on the power play here to start the third period. They got the 4 power play goals last weekend against Blue Ridge, but like you said, have been blanked so far on the power play this weekend. So you just hope that Hat Tricks can find an early goal this period and make this one interesting.
Well, the period starts with the Hat Tricks players on their bench, banging their sticks along the boards, trying to get some life out of their teammates with 10 seconds remaining in Robinson's penalty. You got Lakehoff, Belfay out there, along with Movali and Suzinski to begin the penalty kill here in the third. Puck in the Danbury zone to our left. Anderson's got it ahead to the line, flip back down off the heel of Price's stick. Back to 5-on-5 hockey, so Port Huron finds themselves now 0 for 9 this weekend on the man advantage as they outshot the Hat Tricks 11-8 in the second period. Shots 28-21 after 40 minutes of play. Movali along the right side drives it in, and the Hat Tricks will change. Loose puck corralled at center ice by Favaro, who has one of those 3 goals, trying to barrel his way in. Corrals it in off the end wall, got taken out in the corner. Crom plays it ahead. Now racing through center is Ruiz, and across the line, Ruiz to the trailer. Crom fanned on it. There were a couple of chances back in the second period. In particular, Crom had a chance for a one-timer, and then he fell. And then that one, as we get a penalty called here with the minute 16 gone by for hooking, and we'll see a power play coming up. Who is this one on? It's going to be on Lucas Lockney, I believe, as he will march slowly to the penalty box, and we'll see the second hat trick power play of the afternoon.
It's the perfect opportunity that Coach Beertram would have hoped for. Barely a minute into the period. We get a goal here on the power play and start mounting this comeback.
Perhaps the most impressive thing about Port Huron's weekend, this is the team that leads the Fed in penalty minutes, and it's not close. They've been very disciplined in this game, staying out of the box. Yesterday as well, they allowed just 2 power play opportunities to the Hat Tricks yesterday, and this is their second, trailing 3-0. Belfay with it at the center line, looked to connect back to Fennell, lost the puck, and diving was Fennell, couldn't get it. Bucell looks in front, shorthand chance, and the rebound was poked just wide. 2 good chances for Price. The first one was denied on a save by Resar, and we get a stoppage in play and another penalty coming up. It's going to be on Fennell, who has earned a lot of frequent flyer miles to the box. That's a slashing call.
Yeah, you saw Bucell lost his stick, and as they were reaching towards the half wall, see the frustration there from Fennell. He's spent a lot of time there, but Bucell just trying to shield it without a stick and gets taken down. Back to 4-on-4, and 30 seconds of power play gone. Chance over for the Hat Tricks.
Danbury now 0 for 2 on the man advantage, and that one lasted just 27 seconds on the power play. 4-on-4 here. Tukane with some speed through center. Gives to Robinson, back to Tukane. Glides to the corner, trying to center it. It came right back to him, works it out in front, and Elliot Lakehoff there at the top of the crease, and his shot denied. As Favaro through center, finding Graham, 2 of the 3 goal scorers tonight for this Port Huron squad. Susinski cuts off Graham in the corner, works it back to the near side. Ian Tukane facing pressure by R2 Hakala. Back around for Susinski. 55 seconds left in the 4-on-4 before we will see an abbreviated Port Huron man advantage, their 5th. Tukane through the neutral zone. Passing across to the left side. In front, there's a shot. Big save made by Huber. Loose in front. They score! Lakehoff's first chance was denied. Second chance by the near goal post. He was able to bury it. It's now a 3-1 game.
Definitely one of the more unique goals you'll see scored by Legkov there. The shot just popped way in the air, and we'll see the replay there. Legkov coming in from the left wing. The shot just deflected off the pad, and Huber couldn't find it as it made its way back down to the ice and trickles in, and that's the goal that Coach Birchin wanted. 2-goal deficit now, still 17:27 left.
18th goal of the season for Legkov, who now has points in 3 consecutive games. He had an assist last night. His 41st point of the season. We'll wait on assists, but Legkov finally getting this hat-tricks team on the board. We will not see the first career shutout for the goaltender, Bailey Huber. Back to the point, a shot from Morgan slowly made its way to the net, steered aside by Resar, and now out to center ice. Rupsoff in across the line. He's got Ruiz, gives to him. Ruiz backhands it toward the net. Huber with the save. Loose in front as Rupsoff tried to get to it. He's able to keep it in. Swung it off the boards, but Ruiz was coming off on a change for Belfay. 2 seconds left in the 4-on-4. Now a 27-second power play here for Port Huron, their 5th. So the goal by Legkov, Johnny Ruiz. Back in the point column with the helper as the shot from the right wing side is tucked in off the stick of Lockney. A save made by Resar. So the penalty on Lucas Lockney is ended. 16:31 to play in this third period. And can the hat-tricks mount what would be, after watching the first 40 minutes of this game, a near miraculous comeback?
And that's a huge goal for Alex Legkov, who would come into the weekend as the leading goal scorer in the Fed, and going into today, dropped down to 6th in that category. Points and assists, falling a little bit down the leaderboard, still obviously having an excellent rookie season in the Fed, but good to get his confidence back up and going and to see the puck go into the net for him.
And back to 5-on-5 hockey. Hopping out of the box was Fennell as he got in the fray for a bit. Noah Robinson will dump in as we near 4 minutes played in this third period. Battling is Belfay along the far wall. Digging in briefly for it was Robinson. Prowlers take it out through center. Bucell, toe drag. There's a shot save made. And the rebound taken by Legkov. Gives to Robinson. Robinson looking back for Legkov, but Bucell able to play it well. Good positioning by the forward as Port Huron plays that back out to center. Loose puck, Legros tapped it ahead. Can Legkov get to it? He can't as it comes back to Legros, and now over to Movalle. Movalle from the center line. Drives it in. Huber out of the crease to play it. Finally allowed one to get through him as Legros with it along the sidewall. Pitched in behind the net by Lockhart. Tracked down by Parsons along the near side as it hits off the glove of Bizal, and out of play it goes with 15-16 to play in the game.
After such a quiet second period, it's good to see that the energies come back to life and really sparked this group after that goal. I think for the hat-tricks, you got to strike while the iron's hot right now. The momentum is kind of tilting a little bit towards their favor despite being down 2 goals. So if you can get another quick one here, boy, we would have a wild finish with plenty of time left in the third.
Now Port Huron, a team that when leading after 40 minutes, a perfect 11-0, so they would like to keep that intact. We saw a blemish on the hat-tricks record last night when scoring the game's first goal. Maybe we'll see a blemish on the Port Huron side. Still plenty of hockey to be played. 2 goals, a bit more manageable as Susinski just left the puck there in the corner. Was able to recover. Crom centering feed taken away. Anderson comes back across the line, tried to hop around Rupsoff, who now has it at center ice. Leads it, looking for Crom, taken back the other way by Dikembis, and it is dumped in on net, or it is gloved by Sebastian Resar. 14:37 to go in the contest. It's 3-1 Port Huron on the Hat-Tricks Digital Network.
Raise a glass to locally crafted spirits at Litchfield Distillery. Enjoy free tours and tastings of our award-winning spirits, including bourbon, rye, gin, and ready-to-drink cocktails. Open daily with tours on the hour. Book your spot at litchfielddistillery.com. Litchfield Distillery, batch by batch. Craving a craft beer escape? Come to Reverie Brewing Company in Newtown, where every pint is brewed with passion and flavor. Catch a rotating tap list, enjoy food trucks almost every day, and join us for live events and good times. Visit reveriebrewing.com for our menu, hours, and upcoming events. Reverie Brewing. Don't quit your daydream. In the mood for a sweet treat? Visit Twister's Ice Cream Cafe in New Fairfield. Enjoy 32 delicious homemade ice cream and Italian ice flavors, including rotating specials. Plus, catch Twisters at all Danbury Hat-Tricks home games this season. For more information, check them out on
14:37 to go in regulation. Danbury trailing Port Huron 3-1. Alongside Pat Rudberg, Phil Jubileo with you on the Hat-Tricks Digital Network. Happy to be with you at the DIA on this final home game of the 2025 portion of the Hat-Tricks Federal Prospects Hockey League schedule. Robinson will face off with Anderson to the left of Resar, won by the Hat-Tricks. Tukane dumped out to center ice. Lakoff unable to get it around Alex Johnson. Across the line with it is Price. Price gliding in, his shot. That one went in the wrong direction and now wrapped around and they score! An amazing goal by Price as he wrapped it in from behind the net. And Port Huron leads 4-1.
Bobby Price again proving to be one of the players of the weekend for the Prowlers, just finding himself in goal scoring areas. Nice wraparound there. We'll get the replay here. Not a true wraparound, but he finds the puck right next to the post and will stuff it, bank it off Resar's back, and that's all you need there. And after just a glimmer of hope for the Hat-Tricks, getting it down to a 2-goal deficit, back to a 3 deficit. Right now, mid-third period.
Not quite the return scores that we saw last night, where seemingly a minute after Danbury put the puck in the net, we saw goals coming back the other way from the Prowlers. But, you know, in this case, a little bit over 3 minutes between the Legkoff goal and the Price goal, which makes it 4-1. And that response coming from the Port Huron Prowlers, you see that, you know, there's a presence with this club that is impressive. They are aware of what is going on in this game and how the tides could have turned if they, you know, allowed Danbury to get another one fairly quickly.
And you definitely know that, you know, despite there being a huge gap between Binghamton and Port Huron in the points in first and second, Danbury's still mid-season, but playing with some stakes here, trying to get back into the top 4, position they had held for a couple weeks, being above both Blue Ridge and Watertown. And, you know, they get a break the next couple series is playing PD, who is kind of in the middle of the Continental, and then back against Watertown, which will be a huge series coming up in 2 weekends back at home.
There's a backhand shot on his way to the net, was Morick, denied. Vincent DeCumbis with the primary assist on that goal. He's got himself a 3-point game here this afternoon at the DIA. A big afternoon for the forward. 13:40 to play in the game. Hat-Tricks after getting the early third period goal from Legkoff, trying to make it a 2-goal contest once again. Loose puck in the corner. Played back along the near side and now centered out by Morick as he found Bucell. Swept away from him. Regained. They now pass up the left side. In across the line as Kanderka looked to drop that pass off, and it was broken up and cleared out to center ice, where it is played by the defenseman Fennell. Driven in back around to the near side. Held in at the point by Tukane. Behind the goal, they battle. It's a fourth liner, Frondudo, looking to center it in front. Regained by the Prowlers. Port Huron, an opportunity. Price drops that off, and a shot by DeCumbis, looking to make it a 2-goal game. That was towed aside. Good save made by Resar. Head back to the point as Favaro ricochets it off the wall. Wraparound try comes back toward the point, and the goal is knocked off its moorings. A frequent occurrence, and it has always been the case here at the Danbury Ice Arena. Those pegs come off easy in this building.
That, and, you know, I've noticed a couple times, especially today, these corners towards the wall where the Zamboni sits, even in the opposite side, man, it feels like more often than not they ricochet right back towards the slot rather than where they normally would. They just keep spinning around the end of the boards. It's a funny, maybe a potentially home court advantage type of thing for the hat-tricks if they can somehow capitalize on it.
Well, they haven't been able to today, and that corner to our left on the near side, they were working on that before the game. A couple of hours beforehand, when I first got here, they were replacing one of the glass panes, or fiberglass panes along in that corner, right where that is jutting out, where those pucks are coming out. I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but it's certainly a thing here as Lockney toe drags it, works it out on the side of the goal. Good save made by Resar, as looks like this Prowlers team, after watching Price score it off the back of Sebastian Resar, trying to do likewise here a second time in this period, as it is played all the way back by Lockhart. Now for Parsons, got dumped down to the ice by Crom, tries to get to it in front, but recovering is Parsons, drives it up the boards, on the tape to Bucell, a 2-on-2. Bizal comes in across the line, try to move it across. The pass was deflected by Ruiz, cleared out to center, and regained along the left side as it is flung in by James. Loose at center, Roops off there. 1-on-4 while the rest of the hat-tricks change up. Danbury down 3 here in the third, nearing the halfway mark, about 1:15 away there, as Bizal got shoved down to the ice by Tukane. Funneled ahead by Rupsoff at the end of his shift, but the Prowlers regain it back in their zone. Nicholas Favaro curls his way around. Now DeCumbis, 3-point game for him. Gives it off Bucell. Back over to Johnson, walks in front and looked for that short side. He took all the time in the world, but couldn't get that one on net. As Tukane back in behind his net. And you can see a really good forecheck in this game, particularly in the long pass ahead, finding Kandurka from the slot, and that one deflects out of play with 10:45 to go.
And Port Huron, again, doing a good job just getting bodies in front. And that shot from Johnson, Resar was fully screened there. If he was able to get that on net, he might have made it 5-1. But like you said, it's really hard pressing forechecking from Port Huron. Even though they're up 3 goals, they could theoretically just kind of sit back and bleed this clock out, extend their win streak, and choosing not to do so.
No, if anything, their forechecks become a bit more aggressive here in the third period. Dumped toward the corner by Fennell, picked back up. Prowlers can't get it out. Leg cough, pass in front. There's a shot and a big save as Belfay was denied. Huber came out to make the stop.
Arguably the best save of the night from Huber. We'll see it here. Legkov in acres of space, point blank, and can't lift it over the shoulder. Just kind of stuffed it right into his belly.
Austin Belfay looking to make this a 2-goal contest. Legkov had the great pass. Tukane with a point shot. It ends up in the netting. That might have tipped off the goaltender's mitt. See where they drop the puck with 10:28 to go. It'll stay in the Prowlers' end with Port Huron leading 4-1. Face off to the right of Huber. Legkov along with Robinson and Belfay, Tukane, and Caden Fennell, who started this game at center and sometime during the second period kind of rolled back to the blue line as it is skated across. There's a shot from Anderson, hit off the pipe. And now Belfay chips it ahead. Here comes Legkov with space, in across the line, looking for the trailing Belfay, but a right-hand shot. The pass went to his left and out. Prowlers play it back. Ton of speed. Lockhart to the slot. He shoots, and he beat the netminder, but missed the net. Was looking to go against the grain from the right side to the near post. As things have opened up here in the last few minutes, more than halfway through this third period. The two teams have traded off goals here in the third. Still a 3-goal lead for the Prowlers, 4-1. Lucas Lockney glides in, and that one denied. Resar holds on and will step aside. 9:38 to play in regulation. It's the Prowlers 4, Danbury 1 on the Hat-Tricks Digital Network.
Upgrade your home with Buzz-8 Appliance, your trusted source for top brand appliances and expert service. We've got the selection and knowledge to help you find the perfect fit. Visit our showrooms in Danbury and Brookfield or shop online at buzz8appliance.com. Buzz8 Appliance, where quality meets dependability. Discover fresh quality and unbeatable value at Carluzzi's, your family-owned grocery market. We've got everything you need under one roof. Proudly serving Danbury and surrounding communities. Visit carluzzi's.com for weekly specials. Carluzzi's, where quality meets community. Hungry? Chick-fil-A has you covered in Brookfield on Federal Road and inside the Danbury Fair Mall. From the original chicken sandwich to fresh salads and nuggets, enjoy breakfast, lunch, or dinner your way. The perfect way to feed your family. Chick-fil-A, great food, friendly service. Craving something sweet? Treat yourself at Peach Wave of Bethel. Choose from a variety of creamy frozen yogurts, pile on your favorite toppings, and create the perfect swirl every time. Located right in the heart of
9:38 to play in regulation. Danbury trailing Port Huron 4-1. Back on the Hat Tricks digital network. Phil Jubileo, Pat Rudberg with you. And the Hat Tricks make it a 2-goal game for the second time in this period. Ruiz drives it in from the near wing boards, comes around, roops off, tied up in the corner. Crom looks to dig in as well, but it comes back over. Parsons leads it ahead. Too far for Bizal, looks to recover. Ruiz swats at it. Port Huron to recover back in their own zone. Played to the right side, Bizal in across 1-on-5. Rest of his teammates are changing. Comes in hard on the forecheck, got it around the net, but waiting on it is Tomasi as he lobs it over the head of Newberg as the fourth line on the ice for this Hat Trick squad. And now fired in from just behind the blue line by Newberg. Huber made the save. Frondudo, his stick lifted. Resar plays it back. Here comes Ian Tukane. Tukane on the breakout. Centers it across the line. Frondudo shooting in. Good stick in the lane from Price. Bobby Price, who's had a fantastic game today. Doing it on both ends, and the deflection sends the puck out of play.
I think one of the brighter spots today for the Hat Tricks has to be the play of this fourth line. You don't expect them to create goal-scoring opportunities. You just hope they go out there and give you some good minutes, get some physicality going. And they've actually created some decent chances, too. You've seen Newberg and Frondudo get on the puck a lot. Frondudo, who's a rookie, who's contributed decent offensively this season, even though being on the fourth line. So some positives to take away, trying to, if you're Coach Bierschen and the staff.
Belfay at center ice, moves it across. Fennell drives it in. Alex Johnson, who was banged up back in the second period. He didn't last long on the bench. He got it clear, but Danbury recovers. Ahead for Belfay. Curls back around. And the second-year pro moves it across. A bouncing puck to the left side. Fennell drives it in. Angles off the wall. Belfay tried to get to it. But the Prowlers able to skate away. Nice work by Johnson. Gets it ahead for Lockney. 2-on-2 with Hakela. There's Lockney stopping short. Oh, and he got bumped by a couple of orange sweatered Hat Trick players as Hakela back with it. Feeds to the line. Across here for Parsons. Shot off Legkoff, and it goes out with 7:37 to go. You look at how Port Huron has been able to put 4 goals on the board today. And, you know, again, much like last night, bodies in front. That Price goal was certainly one of the flukier ones, which made it 4-1. And, you know, we talked about it, points of the second period, how quiet it got. And, you know, similar nature once it became a 4-1 margin here in the third.
You're definitely, you know, expecting that on a Sunday afternoon in a rescheduled game. Already going to be maybe a not as big a crowd, but they were loud in the first period. But expected, you know, down 3 goals, maybe not going to be bringing as much energy as you'd hope.
Meanwhile, Bucell skates across the center. He'll flip it high in the air. Bouncing puck, skips by Resar. Well, Resar, 32 saves. He had a 39 save performance last night, certainly taking a lot of shots. As Crom drops that back off, Legros moving it ahead, shouldered along the wall, and Legros gets it back behind the center red line. Now for Tomasi. Josh Tomasi fires in from center ice as it comes back around for the waiting Nick Favaro. Chips it ahead, Hakela Centers it, flipped back by Newberg, but Danbury a delayed offside as Tomasi's got to race back to the blue line. That allows Favaro to take it out to the center line. Over to Lockney now in Danbury territory. Looks to move it across, and that one goes over the glass, and not too far from us up here in Press Row.
I was ready. I had my baseball glove out. I was going to protect you, Phil. Don't worry.
You have to barehand that one. You don't get to bring a baseball glove to a hockey game. Come on.
Either way, I was ready.
You were ready. I know you were ready.
I was ready to barehand it like A-Rod, you know.
There you go. Face-off will be to the right of the goaltender, Sebastian Risar. Top line out there for the hat trick. 6:29 to play in this one. Decumbus losing that face-off to Noah Robinson. Here's Belfay. Moves it ahead on the tape. Robinson in across the line. Quick snapshot. Drifting wide. Belfay shovels it down the boards. Moved off the puck was Robinson. Along the near wing, it scooped back up. Cleared ahead. Goes through a couple of bodies, including Movales, and they'll get back to it in the corner. Stop short, looks to advance. Decumbus coming in to keep it alive. Point shot. Oh, that was from Lockhart, and that one fought off. Good save by Risar. In the corner, and now played up ahead. Fennell found Legkoff. He centers it over. Rupzoff flips it in on net. And a stop for Bailey Huber. And a rare start for him, has been fantastic in net for Port Huron.
Yeah, his last start came back on the 13th, a 4-2 loss versus Indiana as a part of their 6-game losing streak. He made 21 saves in that one, wasn't asked to do a whole lot. Kind of similar to today. He's faced more shots this afternoon.
5:48 to go. Crom spun around on the draw. Quick shot coming in. That one off the mark from the stick of Kandurka. Suzinski. Rupzoff drops it back for Crom. Try to toe back for a shot and taken away by Hakala. R2 Hakala gets stripped by Kandurka, who had a goal last night. Lobbed ahead. Here come the hat tricks. And across the line, flip down the boards. Kandurka in a battle with Graham. To the line, Suzinski, who had a goal last night. Back to the right side for Tukne. Looked to feather it down low. Lockney blocked it with his leg with 5:10 to play. Port Huron, an excellent job, and I don't have block shots tracked easily here in front of me, but they have certainly gotten a lot of in front of a lot of shots in this game as Rupzoff trying to center it. Favaro broke it up. Tomasi just jumped on the ice after a change, and he'll play it in deep. Here's Tomasi. It's the fourth line out there for Danbury. 4:40 to go. Patrick's in danger of a fifth consecutive loss in front. There's a chance right from point-blank range as Newberg couldn't connect. Now a point try from Movali, and that one held on to by Huber, and we'll step aside with 4:30 to go in regulation. It's 4-1 Port Huron on the Hat Tricks Digital Network.
It's time for a tasty, gooey treat. Crumble Cookies in Danbury has the freshest, warmest cookies around. With 6 new gourmet cookie flavors every week, there's always a reason to treat yourself. For the latest flavors and updates, visit crumblecookies.com/Danbury. Visit Danbury Duckpin Bowling Lanes for family fun. Enjoy the classic charm of duckpin bowling with 16 lanes, including a private party room. Perfect for kids' parties, senior leagues, and casual play. It's time for a tasty, gooey treat. Crumble Cookies in Danbury has the freshest, warmest cookies around. With 6 new gourmet cookie flavors every week, there's always a reason to treat yourself. For the latest flavors and updates, visit crumblecookies.com/Danbury. Visit Danbury Duckpin Bowling Lanes for family fun. Enjoy the classic charm of duckpin bowling with 16 lanes, including a private party room. Perfect for kids' parties, senior leagues, and casual play. Open daily with affordable rates and a welcoming atmosphere. Visit DanburyDuckpin.com to reserve your lane today. Looking for a bank that puts you first? Visit Fairfield County Bank, serving Connecticut since 1871. With 17 local branches, we offer personal and business banking, mortgages, insurance, and investment services, all with a personal touch. Visit FairfieldCountyBank.com to
4.5 to play at the Danbury Ice Arena. All Port Huron this afternoon. The Prowlers leading the Hat Tricks 4-1. Phil Jubileo with you. Pat Grunberg alongside for the ride today as the Hat-Tricks in danger of a 5th consecutive loss. And also dropping to 0-4, Pat, against this Port Huron squad this season.
Yeah, and also in addition to that, they've played so many games against Binghamton and have yet to win any of those. So also winless against the teams ahead of them in the Empire. They've yet to play Topeka yet. They have beaten Blue Ridge, who was behind them for most of the season. So technically they have some wins over Blue Ridge, but in terms of the top two, they are still looking for their first win.
Puck in the offensive zone for the Hat-Tricks. Along the boards, it's Legkoff, who has the only goal this afternoon for the Hat-Tricks, his 17th of the season to lead the squad. 41 points for the rookie, the dynamic player out of Russia who starred in the EHL last year, was the player of the year in that league. Meanwhile, DeCumbis, who's had a magnificent day, on a big hit there as Legkoff hammered Price in the corner, and now Legkoff has the puck. On the forehand, feeds Belfay with 3:45 to go. Got it to the line, but no further. Second effort taken away by Bobby Price, and he can't get through the check. Good hit along the boards by Fennell. As it is Crom looking rink wide, taken away by Hakela. Now Graham, who has one of the 4 goals, and he gets upended. Tried to leap around Fennell. 2 big hits from the defenseman on that shift.
Yeah, some energy there, even though down 3 goals.
Now, sometimes in a game like this, you want to do something that's going to impress the coaching staff, as there's a chance from the right circle, and it goes wide off the stick of Lockney. Fed back, touched up with a high stick, and a high stick of Port Huron. So it'll be an offensive zone draw here for the Hat-Tricks. With 3:03 left in regulation, Port Huron leading 4-1. Fourth line back out on the ice. You got Newberg and Frondudo. Kanderka will stay with those two, Tukne and Susinski, rounding out the Hat-Tricks lineup. Off the draw control, Suzinski is shot, goes wide. Along the near side. Regained at center ice as it was Frondudo. Back to Tukane. Frondudo waits for it on the left wing. Too far for Kanderka. Lockhart cuts him off. He had the empty netter in the third period last night as the Hat-Tricks were trying to mount a late comeback. Meanwhile, it was a 1-goal game for much of the contest, and there's a penalty coming up against Port Huron as Tukane got hooked down. It'll be a tripping penalty on the Prowlers. Third power play coming up here for the Hat-Tricks, who are 0 for 2 and 0 for 4 this weekend on the man advantage as it comes at 17-24.
Yeah, and you see it right there, just trying to get past the red line, taken down. Morick to the penalty box. We'll see if Danbury can net a goal here in the final 2 minutes and change and take away some more positives.
Meanwhile, Sebastian Resar started to creep out as if to see if he was going to get the call to the bench. Face-off is controlled at the point. Here's Legkoff. No empty net situation here. Suzinski fires it in from center point, and that one fluttered through, but the save made by Bailey Huber. If you get one quickly, and then you can think about pulling the goaltender at this point. Although if you're down 4-1, does 5-1 even matter? That's also another thought.
Definitely not worrying too much about goal difference at this point. One more goal is not going to matter all that much.
Robinson with it. Susinski. Back to the right side for Legkoff. Back to the point. Suzinski lets it fly. Off the glass and back over to Alex Legkoff with 2:10 to play in the game. Contained by Tukane. Now to the point. Suzinski is shot. Hit off a body in front and his glove down and flipped out through the length of the ice as the Prowlers get a big clear now. Quick up pass. Robinson's got it, looking for numbers. Off in behind. And to the half wall again with it is Robinson. He evades a man. Works it back in the corner. Has Susinski at the point. Instead look to drop that off. Some good work by the much smaller Federley to dig in. Taken off the boards by Tukane. Behind the net for Legkoff. Legkoff, soft pass, never got there. And hammered hard off the wall and cleared with 90 seconds to play. A good dump out for the Prowlers. And now here's Legkoff with it. He's got one today. Toe drag. Looking to do a lot on his own here. And a good defensive play. Poked out to center ice by Parsons. with 40 seconds left in the power play. Now Crom swings it out of the reach of Belfay from the corner. Oregon hammers that out to center, but Fennell was waiting on it. 65 seconds to go. Port Huron will pick up their fourth consecutive win, barring a miracle. 20 seconds remaining in the power play for the Hat-Tricks. Caden Bunnell retreats back, circling around, gives to Belfay, barrels in across the line to Ruiz, looking back in the slot, skips by Crom, loose in between the circles. Getting it back was Rupsoff. 1 second to go, and the power play is over. So the Hat-Tricks now 0 for 3 today and 0 for 5 this weekend on the power play. 30 seconds to go. Here comes Fennell. Out along the wing. Skated across offside by Legkoff with 24.8, Pat, and that's pretty much all she wrote today.
Yeah, no power play goals for either team this weekend. Two teams struggling on the man advantage. You look ahead for Danbury next weekend, a 3-game set down in South Carolina against PD. A good opportunity to play a team in a similar situation now in 5th place in the Continental, just like Danbury is in the Empire. You hope that they can right the ship after this 6-game skid.
Final 20 seconds here at the DIA. Lobbed ahead. Off the body of Legkoff. Skated across by James. James's shot and deflects into the netting with 10.3 to go. Port Huron with the victory will improve to 15-11 on the season. They'll maintain a stranglehold on second place in the Fed Empire Division. Danbury now 8-13-3, and they will be in about 10 seconds.
Kind of an awkward spot for Port Huron. Binghamton way far ahead of them, and Topeka down in 3rd. Pretty far behind them as well, so kind of just focused on getting points game by game.
Puck is dumped in by Fennell from center, steer to the corner, and that's all she wrote. Your final score, Port Huron 4, Danbury 1. A little bit of a discussion, perhaps, on what to get for the bus ride, taking suggestions from the Hat-Tricks players, but that's it. They'll congratulate the winning goaltender today, Bailey Huber, who picks up the victory, his 3rd of the season. He now improves to 3-4 as the number 2 netminder behind Reed Cooper. And a solid effort for Resar. He did give up the 4 goals, 33 saves tonight. And for John Bierchin, he's going to have to go back to work as a coaching staff with this Danbury team to try to figure things out. As you mentioned, that big road series coming up to wrap up 2025 down in Florence, South Carolina. So that'll do it today from the Danbury Ice Arena. Your final score was 4-1 for the entire production crew. And for Pat, I am Phil Jubileo saying so long. You've been watching Danbury Hat-Tricks hockey on the Hat-Tricks Digital Network. Good evening, everybody, and have a happy new year.